Hi guys, Emily back again with another video for you. Today I wanted to talk about my voice and why it sounds the way it does. I'm not sick. This is how I talk all the time. It's been this way my whole life. And it is tangentially related to autism. So the thing is, my cat's jumping around, sorry. The thing is that I was born 14 weeks premature at 26 weeks gestation. I weighed 1 pound 9 ounces when I was born, and I was born not breathing. So I was put in an incubator and given ICU care for about 3.5 months until I went home on my original intended due date. But in the meantime, one of the things that the doctors had to do was intubate me, which means they put tubes down my nose into my throat to help me breathe. And this caused my left vocal cord to become paralyzed. It doesn't move. So the way your vocal cords work is they are open like this. They sit like this in your throat, and they move like this when you talk. Both of them move together. And when they close, that makes sound, and when they open, that lets air through. Now, because my left vocal cord doesn't move, only the right one moves, and so it comes in like this, but there's still a gap between my right vocal cord and my left one because my left one isn't moving. And this lets air through, and that's why I sound so raspy and like I have a bad cold. Don't ask me why your voice sounds like that when you have a cold. I don't really know. But that's basically why my voice sounds the way it does, is because there's air getting in past my vocal cords. I've tried in the past to have this corrected. I had what is called a laryngoplasty, which basically means that if my two fingers are the vocal cord, a doctor will come in and inject the vocal cord with silicone to make it fat and round it out so that this part here will meet in the middle with the other vocal cord, so it just sort of sits in the middle of the throat, and when the other vocal cord moves towards the middle, it meets it and touches it. I guess the problem was this. The procedure I had was a temporary solution because the gel they used is biodegradable and it breaks down, and so eventually your vocal cord goes back to being flat. And it took me so long to recover from the surgery. It took about 4 months from the time I had it to the time at which I could talk normally again, that by the time I got my voice back, and the swelling had gone down and everything, all of the material had broken down, and so I was back to square one. And so I never got a chance to hear what my voice should have sounded like with the temporary solution. They do have a more permanent solution where they use, I'm pretty sure it's a silicone brick, that doesn't break down. Because mine was just an injection, they would have cut open my throat and my vocal cord and physically inserted a chunk of silicone material or something like that into my vocal cord, and it would have stayed there. But because I didn't ever get to hear what my voice was supposed to sound like with the temporary injection, I didn't really want to go ahead and try the permanent solution in case I didn't like it, or it made things worse, or any one of a number of things. And so that's pretty much where I am today, is with this hoarse, raspy voice that just sort of sounds like I'm sick when I'm not. Now, at the beginning, I said that all of this was tangentially related to autism. And what I meant by that was that autism is much more common in premature babies because autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder, meaning that the brain doesn't develop the way it's supposed to. And so all of the damage that occurs as a result of prematurity, in my case it was the lack of oxygen I had, malnutrition because I couldn't really eat, and so I was fed through a tube as well, medical and surgical trauma. I had a brain bleed, which is where literally what it sounds like, where the brain bleeds internally and blood fills the space that contains fluid in between the brain and the outer edges of the skull, and it can cause hydrocephalus, which is swelling or pressure on the brain. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff that can cause damage to the brain when you're born premature. And the more premature that you're born, the higher your risk of developing cognitive disabilities such as autism, ADHD, learning disabilities like dyslexia, dyscalculia, physical disabilities like dysgraphia, dyspraxia, all of those things. And so I don't know for sure whether my autism was caused by my prematurity or my genetics, because we're pretty sure that my dad has autism as well. He's never been diagnosed formally, but he has a lot of the same symptoms that I do, and when he was growing up, he struggled with a lot of the same things that I dealt with when I was a kid, so we're pretty sure he's autistic. So I have no way of knowing whether my autism is as a result of my prematurity or my genetics. My mom has ADHD, and that can also, I'm pretty sure, contribute to having a child with other neurodevelopmental disorders. So again, we're not sure if my ADHD was caused by my mom or my birth. My sister, who was born totally normal, on time, normal birth weight, all of that stuff, also has ADHD. So there's a chance that it is a genetic factor, but we can't know for certain. But anyway, I just wanted to get the voice thing out of the way because I expect that I'll probably get a lot of comments about it. I always do when I go out and I meet new people. They always ask me, "Oh, are you sick?" And in this day and age with a pandemic, that's a risky thing to have people assume that you're sick when you're not. So yeah, if you have any other questions about it, comments, if you can relate, leave all of that in the comments. I'd love to read other people's stories because I've never met anyone with vocal cord paralysis like mine, so it would be really nice to get to know other people who have it. But yeah, that's all I've got for this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.